back, everyone. It's Winback, and today, our last episode of the week, just like I promised, we are spicing it up with the hottest tank in the game. It's Blaze. Did you see the puns? Did you get it? Today's team comps are going to be Deckard, Blaze, Kel'Thuzad, Cassia. Yeah.
10 seconds.
Ragnaros versus Tassadar. Oh my god. Rhaegar, Artanis, Stitches, and Asmo. So, obviously, the drafting in this game didn't go perfect. I was originally going to pick Diablo, and my Kel'Thuzad and Cassia decided to lock at the same time during the second round, so I didn't get an opportunity to do that before it was banned. That being said, Blaze is very, very much a solid backup pick for me, personally, and I think just as far as the game is concerned, regardless. Blaze is one of the more sleeper tanks in the game. I think a lot of people have a very wrong idea how to play him, and honestly, I struggle with it a lot myself sometimes because he's not a tank that is going to dive, regardless of his E, his jet propulsion. You are never really going to use that to engage. That is, more than anything else, a counter-engage tool. Everything about Blaze is set up to hold areas, create chokes, and then force the enemy to come into a fight in such a weird way that your jet propulsion is just going to knock them right the fuck off their feet, and if they are clumped up, is going to do that to multiple people. So, playing Blaze is more difficult than playing basically any other tank, but it is going to be just as rewarding and just as good. Just right there again. Tassadar can't go to the left because there's teammates, there's slows, there's just denial of area. So that's when we use our jet propulsion, when he is hugged right up on our fire bat ass, and we're going to tackle him. He's going to hate it. The team's going to kill him. Everybody's going to have a good time except Tassadar, which is honestly, I mean, you should just, that's how it should be. No. Now, Stitches into Blaze, just purely as a tank versus tank matchup isn't necessarily great for Blaze. Based on everything that I just told you, Stitches can force our team into bad positions regardless of slowed him down too much and I missed. Stitches can force our team into bad positions with his hook, so their team doesn't have to commit to an engage, whereas our team suddenly has to go in when we're not really ready to, which is kind of the counter to Blaze as a comp. Forcing him to do something on not his own terms is going to be the biggest counter and the biggest detriment to any Blaze comp. Now, our comp specifically is zero mobility, absolutely negative fucking mobility. So if any of us get caught by that hook and gorged and taken away, we're pretty much dead, with the exception of myself because I have jet propulsion. Huge combo from the Kel'Thuzad, not able to get any damage on the Stitches to kill him, but such is life. It's okay as long as Kel'Thuzad is getting stacks. He's actually looking shit, oh my god, he got hooked. Cassie's gonna go in for the Fend kill, and that is gonna be exactly what we want, as the enemy team just keeps running at us, making it so easy to hit those jet propulsions. We do not have any more mana though, so that is a huge problem with Blaze that you will need to get around. His W is the most expensive part of his kit, 50 mana per charge. So if you're using both really quick, right after another, you've just blown 100 mana for slows. And obviously they'll heal him too, but you know, it's mostly, like we said earlier, it's area denial. So if you have denied an area with one, and you are trying to use the other one to engage with your slow jet propulsion combo, you've just blown, looks like a fifth of your mana. Ooh, damn, 3-man jet propulsion, fucking sexy stuff. We did trade 1 for 1 there. Asmo goes down, they get Rag on the other side of the map, so it could be worse, I suppose. One of the things that I am going to mention to you, because I'm not really going to dive into the build for Blaze, it's more or less a few specific talents that I think really change up his playstyle. There are a couple mandatories, but at level 1, whatever talent you pick is really up to your own prerogative. You can take the cooldowns. Obviously, that's going to make things better for your mana and your abilities. You can take the Unstoppable, which is going to make you extremely hard to kill when your D is up, because you could just dodge so much. Oh, just got around the wall, thank God. He got the pull as well. Are we going to get? We're not going to get anything. That's fine. I didn't have enough health to stay in there. I just realized. It's just going to leave. At level 1, though, Blaze does have quite a few options. The only one that you should never pick is going to be your Endurance Stimpak here. Don't ever take this. The shield is not good enough. The cooldown is too long. It's just not worth it. I think if they drop that to 15 seconds, maybe, you could pick it. But as it stands right now, that shield is just absolute fucking garbage for a 40-second cooldown. Doesn't add enough tankiness to him. It's just stop picking it. If you're picking it, stop it. But all the other ones at this tier, I think are fantastic. Typically, I like to pick new habits for the Unstoppable, but I do end up picking Neural Stimpak a lot too. I did not pick Adrenaline Stimpak for the longest time, but in this game specifically, I wanted to give it a shot because the move speed that it gives you actually makes Blaze even more mobile than he already is with his dash. So, Adrenaline Stimpak is going to give you 25% move speed. It's going to give you 100% attack speed. The move speed is more what we are after, because what that does, once we pick up our ultimate here, you may or may not notice when you take Combustion, because it's fun, you slow down by, let's see what it is. It is, you lose 40% move speed, yes. So you slow enemies by 60%, but you also lose 40% of your move speed. What you can do to kind of counteract that is hit your Adrenaline Stimpak first. So you go up 25% move speed, then you hit your Combustion, and then rather than being 60% move speed, you are... Oh, that was more fun. Rather than being 60% move speed, you are now 85% move speed. And that is incredibly good when you're playing with Combustion. Oh my god, I really thought he was going to die. I really thought he was going to die before she did. Which is super unfortunate because it's my job as the tank to keep people alive when there's no healer. I'm sorry, Cassia. But anyway, that's just a cool little trick that I found out while playing this game. You hit the 1 button, then you hit your R button, and then you run a bit quicker. I need Kel'Thuzad to turn in his gems because he's got a lot of them, and he's fucking squishy as hell, and I don't want him to have them anymore. Please, dump them. Let's go. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. Now, the other talents that are going to be... well, to be honest with you, Blaze has he's got a very situational talent tree. Everything about Blaze, from the ults to the 13 to the 16 and the 1, are a very, very much kind of up to you and what you need in the game or what your preference is. So at 13, I picked up Nano Machine Coating to slow down the attack speed of the Artanis, mainly. But once Rhaegar Bloodlusts, if there is anybody standing in our oil, they are going to lose 50% of their attack speed. And we have 2 charges of oil that cover very large amounts of team fight. So you can imagine Artanis running in with Bloodlust thinking everything's going to go great, and then losing his attack speed. Trying to save the KT right now, giving it all she's got, Captain. KT did not run up, he elected to run right instead, so... I mean, fuck, really. Nothing that we can do to save him there, but that's just another very good example of how Blaze really does provide that peel for his team on a pretty easy cooldown, and it's just simple for him to get out of danger. Yeah. But anyway, the talents that you're going to have. Oh my god. All right, no, Deckard's got his Ruby out. He's throwing potions down as fast as he can. I'm telling my team to just get the fuck out, please. Just leave. Deckard's already died. That's your healer. Our Ragnaros decided it was going to be up to him to blow his Molten Core cooldown as the Deckard is dead already, to get himself killed. Now Cassie is already hanging out in the back there. She gets a kill somehow, but is still going to die. My damage isn't going to be enough to kill Artanis through his shield, so I just have to leave. Now we're just in the shit. Because you couldn't just, like, leave. You couldn't just back the fuck away. That's 4 people, all ignoring retreat pings after the healer died. So, please, in your own games, if the tank is telling you to leave, and you don't see even numbers, fucking leave. Just do it. In every MOBA everywhere, well, this may not be true for other MOBAs, but in HOTS specifically, the tank is the one who makes the calls. The tank shot calls. The tank directs the team. If you're ignoring pings, or you're ignoring anything from the tank, unless your tank is playing like a complete pussy, you should just be listening. Ah, for fuck's sake. Trying to save Private Deckard again, just immediately woken up out of that stay a while and listen. See if we can lock Stitches down here. He's still pulling in the Deckard. I'm trying to save so many people from making so many stupid ass decisions. Just slow on the Stitches. He's going to get hooked, so I have to stand in front of him now. Yes, you're welcome. Please leave. I don't want to be here anymore. None of us should be. Period. Dodging that shockwave with the tip of my butthole. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Oh, and this is how you throw games, okay? If the tank for this team wasn't such a fucking genius, our healer would be dead, and so would everybody else. There goes Cassia anyway, because, I don't know, it just seemed like a good idea to give the enemy team more fucking kills. And now I gotta come over here to try to save Ragnaros as he pops out of the building. Got a 3-man stun with the jet propulsion. Thank God. Kel'Thuzad getting the damage after the stun. Fantastic shit. But that's really what Blaze is all about, right? It's the counter engage. It's setting up those really awkward positions. Just letting your DPS play what they're going to play. It's time to go get boss. We have 3 people dead on the enemy team. There's nothing stopping us from doing this. As far as Blaze goes in the draft, though, I think he's not going to be your general all pick all the time tank. He's got some very clear counters, some things that are going to make it very, very hard for him to tank. Poke is a very, very difficult thing for Blaze to deal with. Tassadar specifically, maybe not in this matchup, or in this game, but in the matchup specifically, or theoretically, he should be doing shitloads of damage to me. He didn't take Thermal Lance, actually, which is why we're winning. Tassadar didn't take the instant death button, so that's an amazing helping hand by the Stitches. Absolutely hot stuff. And then our KT gets a hook of his own to kill the Artanis instead, so fuck yeah, team! Yeah, I know, but Tassadar lost in the game by not picking Thermal Lance at 16, so there we are. There you have it. Percentage damage really, really, really hurts Blaze. And on top of that, after he's taken a lot of poke damage, he's got to heal up by either getting healed from the healer, or healing himself up with his W and his Q at the same time. Which, as we discussed earlier, 50 mana there and 30 mana there. You've just blown 80 to get about 500 health back. It's really, really inefficient healing for a tank, but it is what it is. I mean, that's how you heal yourself up with Blaze. Which is probably the reason that we're fucking so often. But anyway, yes. So poke damage, percent damage, all that stuff makes Blaze's life a living hell. And on top of that, if you are playing into characters like Mephisto or Greymane, damage that can kind of just hit you really hard and not have a whole lot of consequence to it, characters that can displace you really hard are going to be even worse. So Blaze, I don't think, is good into Garrosh. I don't think that specifically Garrosh doesn't have to worry about throwing the tank into the team if it's Blaze. Because Blaze is on the lower end of the health pool, first of all, for tanks, and getting tossed out of his fire, getting tossed out of, you know, all that stuff is just generally not where he wants to be. Oh my god! If he's not controlling the denial of his of the area on his own, he's in bad territory. So Blaze can be very easily focused and killed, unless you take Bunker. If you take Bunker, then you have a bit of counterplay when you're playing into a Garrosh, or in this case, a Stitches, or anything like that. If you get pulled into the enemy team, you can get out with your dash still. You can save your own life with your Bunker because you're trading that health for yours. But that's the best way I can think of to deal with some counters. Malthael, for the same reason. I just don't think you would want to pick Blaze into a character like that, unless you're prepared to pick Bunker and use it kind of selfishly. Victory. So it's kind of how it goes.
MVP.
Ta-da! You're welcome, team. Did somebody say no main tank? Who said that? I had chat off. I would have loved to sprinkle that in somebody's face. Blaze is a main tank. Blaze should not be played anywhere else. I mean, I guess off lane if you really want to, but fucking why? Like, who cares? Just play a main tank. Just make it happen. Do it up. Besides, you fucking got my Diablo banned, so eat it. Anyway, there's the build again. I specifically took Adrenaline Stim Pack because I wanted to take Combustion, and the two actually synergize together. Didn't know that before, but the movement speed that you get from Stim Pack offsets the movement debuff that you get from Combustion, which is fucking cool. Meltdown at 4, very, very, very important, because a lot of the tanking that Blaze can do is going to be damage reduction, either in the form of Meltdown, Nanomachine Coating, or Suppressive Fire, which is the spell power reduction that he gets from his Q on the same tier as 13. So if I was more worried about spell damage on this team than I was auto attacks because of this bitch, I would have taken Suppressive Fire and basically laid it all out on Tacidar's face, period. Just that's how that goes. Crossfire, also mandatory for all the bonus damage that it does. You have to have it. It's all your wave clear, it's all your building damage, it's basically all of your damage, period, as Blaze. And then 16, again, it's totally up to you what you pick here. I like Thermal Protection because of the cooldown reduction that you get for your Jet Propulsion, but the other talents are good. Juggernaut Plating is going to save you a lot from spell damage that's just always slapping you in the face, or Pyromania. No, it's not Pyromania. I can't remember what it's called. It is the ability that makes Pyromania heal you. It might just be called Pyromaniac. I could be wrong. But it's just as good. The healing that you get from the damage that you do with your D is nuts. But I would suggest, if you are going to do that, that you take New Habits at level 1, because that reduces the cooldown of your Pyromania, so you have it up more often, so you can heal more often, and then ta-da, there's the synergy that we've been looking for. Yeah! Anyway, this video has run a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but there you have it. We will probably be back with some more stuff for Blaze in the future, because there's a lot more to talk about with this character, including synergies, more team comp stuff, cool things about his kit, and more particularly counters and map strengths. So I think it'll be good to revisit this character, because again, it just gets slept on. Like, fucking no man tank bullshit. I mean, let's be real. Let's be fucking real here. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. Feel free to YouTube me up if you want to. Like, comment, subscribe, or, you know, just spray paint all over the screen when I'm on, if that's what makes your heart happy. But I will be back next week with some more HOTS, and we'll see what's new and exciting when the time rolls around. Thank you again for hanging out, and I will see you next time.